Video start off as where we're talking about life hacks. And life hack number one out of the chute is this Instapot. Is this paid placement? No, it is not. This is a Instapot, which is a magical meal making device. You press one button, beef stew. You throw in low quality meat that is beef, and it's four ingredients. Four ingredients. What are we talking about? We're talking about 51 Days of Christmas, and it's inside the 99 Days of Christmas where we are going to life hack. It's beef and these two ingredients. Well, now three because I added a carrot. Where we're literally taking a can of mushroom soup, and I did the complicated versions of this. I did the non-mushroom soup cream assembly. This is as easy as it gets, and guess what? There's no flavor drop-off. Pressing one button with four ingredients gets you a meal where you will be so impressed by yourself that you're going to be like, there's no way that it was actually this easy. Thank you, Larry Chang. And if you make a video on what you learned with what you proved to be awesome, that'd be even better. This is the brand I use, not a paid placement, any old carrot. Life hacking number two. This is a work dress shirt. Not W-O-R-K, W-R-K. It's a dress shirt that I'm also currently wearing. This is the life hack component to it. You machine wash it. What does everybody else do? They take their nice dress shirt to a dry cleaner. It costs them $4. There's the hassle of having to drop it off, even though my building has drop-off service, and then they pick it up and deliver. Sounds awesome, but there's friction between. This is something that is frictionless, which is a crumpled up ball of dress shirt, okay? I throw it in the machine, and it says delicate cycle. After it comes out, oh, this is the one little thing that is tricky. The smallest little trick, which is there are tab collar stays inside here. So you just pull out the piece of plastic before you machine wash it. So then after, are we learning laundry tricks from a Chinese guy? Oh yeah, because now you're taking a shirt that sometimes goes on sale for as low as, I don't know, $50, and it turns into a foreverly high quality shirt that you air dry. It gets ruined in the dryer, and when it's dry fit, you just air dry it. That's why I'm always wearing dry fit, because it lasts literally forever and it's always clean. And are you getting Chinese laundry tips from a white guy? Yes, because now we're rolling down a hill with always nice clothes. Look, this shirt looks great, right? I washed it myself. It took me 2 milliseconds to do. A WRK shirt, you're looking for wrinkle-free, and you're looking for no dry clean required. When you air dry it, it almost irons itself. Exactly. What are we talking about? We're talking about life hacks. What else are we talking about? We're talking about winning with not a whole lot of money, even though, I mean, it's true, I just made a ton of money. But like here, we're just playfully going over the $0. We're not talking about impossible to do things. I'm talking about getting 2 dress shirts, and this is where guys get to play the game on easy mode. Oh, I'm a guy. Dating's hard. Nobody's throwing putty, right? Well, this is guy stuff on easy mode. You want to hear another life hack? I got this at a thrift shop, joking to go thrift shopping. Look at this. It's a cashmere blazer. I got it for like 15 bucks. It only cost me like another 15 bucks to dry clean it. And then I'm thinking, you know what? I should do a video on dry cleaning as I strip tease, where the life hack of us winning gender specific has implications to what we do with getting slightly better. This is another dress shirt that I drip dried. I air dried it on a hanger. That's the other detail that's sometimes glossed over, which is you got to get a wood hanger, because a plastic hanger makes the shirt hang funny. And so I judge closets based on the wood hanger. But guess what? Wood hangers right now, cheap AF, super cheap. And so as far as life hacking goes, we can win at pre-entrepreneurship once we ace the wardrobe, because when there's parity in sports teams, there's also parity in wardrobing, meaning there's a dude out there who's dressing $4,000 per outfit. And that guy, compared to what I'm recommending that you dress as, you can dress 98% as well as that person with less than $100. I mean, yeah, the Rolex like throws whatever, but so what? Don't wear a watch. Like, some people don't even know what a nice watch is. Point number 2, letters. You're welcome. Let's say there's a dispute that you have with a merchant. Somebody's trying to screw you, right? Somebody's trying to screw you. Hey, at the 7-minute mark, this video got super interesting, which is you want to call them or email them a dispute. That's what common tendency is. That's what regular common sense would have you do. That is not a life hack. You're going to get life screwed when you telephone a complaint. This is how to win. And me, Larry Chang, hi, nice to meet you. I will give you your first merchant dispute win for free. This is how. You're going to use an envelope, and there's going to be a stamp on the envelope in the upper right. Reach out to me, and I will mail you an envelope with a clean piece of paper. Because when we dispute things in writing, now we've got a shot. Inside of 90 seconds, I explained how to win at dispute. Is you don't go the email or telephone calling route of dispute. You must dispute using pen and paper via an envelope. Where do I get this envelope? I'll mail you one. I'm not going to mail you 1,000, but I'll mail you your first one because we're friends. And that confidence that you get from disputing one merchant dispute, you're going to be like, wow, I just saved 80 bucks or 600 bucks with a power dispute or a credit dispute. I'm now going to invest $6 for 5 envelopes and 5 stamps. But initially, people are like, I don't want to go buy an envelope. I don't want to go buy stamps. I don't want to search a YouTube video that the stamp goes up in the upper right-hand corner. I don't want to have to write a letter because it'll probably just get thrown away. So what you're doing is you're short-circuiting the truth, which is a business cannot throw away mail the way that consumers casually throw away mail. In fact, not only can it not be casually tossed, it needs to be answered within a time frame as set by U.S. law. And so once you discover, oh my gosh, this is such a great life hack, Larry will even send me an envelope with a stamp, that then now you're like, wow, this is how the world works. And then you don't even need to do a video to say thank you. Okay, you don't. You should, but you don't. I'll just know that you're thankful because this is such a jaw-droppingly OMG fact, which is merchant disputes, credit disputes, any kind of business dispute is not pick up the phone and stay on hold forever, plead your case to an entity that knows that you don't know that you could have written a letter. There's a joke that rich people say, which is this meeting could have been an email. And when this meeting of a credit complaint, it could have been a written out letter, because that's the life hack is you want to do merchant disputes via snail mail, via the United States Postal Service. People who cheat us out of money, they're banking on you thinking normal person thoughts. Whereas once you start thinking like you're Larry Chang, you're never going to get screwed, because you're going to be like, oh, well, enjoy my documentation via a number 10 envelope with a stamp in the upper right. Life hack number next. Whoa. PQRST. Yes, I learned this when I was sub 15 years old. Yes, I might have learned it when I was 11 years old. But as the 10,000th time that I've mentioned PQRST, what has been your financial outlook delta? How has that changed from me saying PQRST for a 11,000th time? How has it changed? How has your financial outlook changed in the same way that I did a wardrobe change because of PQRST? And if that answer is, I don't know what the financial delta is, let us get you a couple $100 US for PQRST. I learned it second semester, senior year engineering school. I first learned it when I was 11 years old. There's a 7-year gap between PQRST to PQRSTs. And then I'm going to say this next fact, and it's going to make you bewildered and question everything, which is I watched Tom Brady say what I said on the football field. PQRST. Preview, question, read, summarize, test. Life hack at this component is not to do the high level PQRST stuff, but to get you to initially write down preview, question, read, summarize, test, combine with asking 7 questions that are better than your average crappy questions. Let me give you an example. What do you even do? What? You're asking a macro question that involves an essay where it's not going to be helpful, where you're like, oh, I'm a polymath. What's a polymath? And then now you're 2 questions in and the conversation has gone off the rails. A good question is, hey, your video on going from 0 to 2, what were your first 3? And what caused you to realize that one video's focus? So what you're doing there is you're asking an incredibly specific question, assuming that the reader, or you're assuming that the content creator knows their own content pretty well. I've asked this question and found out that the author didn't understand anything of what was in their chapter 17. They literally just threw the chapter in there because they're like, I guess we need to have a chapter on blah, blah, blah. And when I'm asking a question, now they're like, whoa, this is something that I needed to make better. Why don't we collaborate? So by asking slightly better questions, we're able to springboard. Oh, right out of Snowball chapter 65, right out of Snowball chapter 66, a book that I didn't want to even read, and I'm glad we're going right into. The script is perfect. Page 117, page 125. A question that's bad to ask, which is, hey, should I go to grad school because I didn't finish undergrad? What? 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 Or the question of, hey, on page 117, Warren Buffett went to a shitty undergrad, University of Nebraska, Omaha, and he got into a tier 2 Ivy, Columbia. How did he do that? Page 125 of Snowball. I'm not saying that you should want to ask Larry Chang for a recommendation letter to go to Columbia. I'm asking you to prepare to life hack by those two page numbers, except that we're not going to Columbia for school. We are going to be going to Warren Buffett's conference May 1 through May 3 in Omaha, because right now all the billionaires are in New Orleans getting ready for Super Bowl. And so, are we also talking about front running? Yes, which is running ahead and knowing that the 2 pages inside of 500 pages are the key pages for us to start, and then us study buddying chapter 65, which is Columbia, or chapter 69, which is a faux franchise, like a joke business, which is something that you and I can conjure up. That's a joke that's hilarious. Here's a joke right now. Oh, Larry, make me laugh. Here it is. You and 3 stuffed animals in your bed will launch a company. That's pretty funny, right? Because you probably already have the stuffed animals. I'm not asking you to go buy a white alligator, a pink little cutie. Look at how cute he is. Look at how cute he is. Look at how cute he is. He represents some AI company. You just get 3 stuffed animals, and then you have a business that's creating landing pages off of people's viral Instagram post. Seriously, like whatever Instagram post, I know you deleted Instagram, okay, I get it, you're cool. But why don't you take an Instagram post that somebody sends you and then you make a landing page out of it, which is, I got sent this post from Alexandra. She wanted to send me this post to influence me to go to this party on Saturday. This is how I feel about it. This is what I'm going to wear going to that party. This is where the party is. Today is Tuesday. The party is on Saturday. That's a landing page. And then what have you done? You've outsourced creating the landing page to who? To me, the same guy that did your envelope. And I won't charge you anything for it. I'm just trying to get you off of zero. So you tell me the Instagram post or YouTube video that you want to turn into a landing page. Because guess what? This video could be made into a landing page for I heard a Larry Chang life hack. Now I'm going to change this one thing in my life. I'm going to actually learn how to Instapot one meal. I'm actually going to create my first 4 ingredient meal, depending on how lazy you are, depending on how adventurous you are. Because the risk of, I don't know how this food's going to taste, even though I'm investing less than $70, is a hurdle that mentally keeps us from other life hacks, which is unsure rewards based on less than an hour of work, where this is why some people never get started, is I don't know how this meal is going to turn out. I don't know how this guacamole recipe is going to to in, to snowball. I don't know how to get started in a brand new skill, which is front running and journaling. Page 1 completed. Page 1 completed. Congratulate yourselves. Tap yourself on the back. Pat yourself on the back. Because page 1, that was a doozy. I went over how to clean your own dress shirt by using wrinkle-free and then air drying on a wood hanger a work shirt. Yes, a work dress shirt, but the brand is similar sounding, WRK. You can use any brand that has no dry cleaning. It has right on the label, no dry cleaning required. Hilarious sunrise video series, day 51 of the 99 Days of Christmas, which is what Altair Basic is this the Microsoft of? What work shirt is this the first item in your wardrobe of? What 4-item crockpot Instapot recipe is this your first creation of? The focus is this. That's the focus. That's the focus. If you wanted to wait for me to have some high production to put it in a little graphic that you're half watching, you're screwed, okay? Screwed. Because you get that now because this is the diagram that Paul Graham and Larry Chang draw most frequently. Because you want to be the penis component of this. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, can you see that? You want to be the vertical in the middle, which is you want to mean a lot to a lot of people. You want to be this middle U-shaped, the tighter U-shaped. Because it's the diagram that Paul Graham and I draw most frequently. Video playlists, next life hack. Being able to have a video playlist changes how you waste time on YouTube to turn it into invested time on YouTube, where you have a playlist of 3 playlists, where 1 is life hacks that I learned at Larry Chang, 2 is action that I took, and 3 is the results. So you're looking at results, you're just looking at the actions taken, and then you're looking at playlist for life hacks. And so when you're combining these together, what's now momentum is being able to generate that momentum because of somebody else's work. That's playlist. That's also DJs perfectly into remix, where you're remixing an existing video and then you hit collab and then also green screen. I'm Larry Chang. If we haven't met before, we should make an appointment to watch together a video that we recut, that we edit. And this is editing Stanford Engineering CS 183 edit. What if you got paid $1 per YouTube video that you watched? What if you got paid $1? Because this is how to conjure up momentum from other people's work, where we're placing these works into categories, into playlists. Polishing up a turd, getting super rich. Once you see that VCs want to only give money to people that are hyper resourceful, then you'll come to the same conclusion I will, whether it's right now, 1 week from now, 1 lifetime from now, or right now, which is we should practice on a cadaver. Because in medicine, grandma doesn't get worked on by you, the doctor who's new, until you've touched 800 cadavers. But what happens in business? In business, people touch grandma, a baby infant, all the time. And so when that happens, we get screwed because we don't have the reps of having worked on a business cadaver. And so, do you see how this is a huge life hack? Where, to back up slightly, everybody in the world is trying to birth a brand new idea. When instead, we should be hunting for other people's abandoned ideas and then turning that around. That's the practice of making a cadaver improve. That's the practice of us editing somebody else's work. Am I putting out purposeful, mediocre content that is not polished so that way you can edit it? Yes. Is this an ability for you to progress forward using other people's energy and work with permission? Yes. Is this also an external API? Yes, yes, yes. Via mentorship. Good job, okay? You've just cranked through this compression of time that I spent to write out content that was delivered in under 30 minutes. Let's keep rolling, shall we? Guacamole. Wow, I'm getting hungry right now thinking about all the food hacks that this life hacking is. What is guacamole? Guacamole is adding 30 steps to a guacamole recipe. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, who likes guacamole? You do. Who makes the best? I do. This is how. I add in roasted garlic that then I puree and then cool down, and then I add it into regular guacamole, which is perfectly ripened avocados, onion, cilantro, a little bit of garlic powder, just all the basic stuff. Lime, salt, boring. But when I'm adding in smoke flavor via the roasted garlic, people are like, oh my God, did you somehow barbecue the guacamole? That's what guacamole is. It's making a simple thing stupendously awesome. Is this what every Michelin chef does? Yes. They do 30 extra steps where most people just throw stuff together and they eat it like right away. Whereas the octopus that the Greek chef is making for you, they started making that octopus 4 days ago before they can serve it on today, Tuesday, on day 51 of the 99 days of Christmas. So that's what guacamole is meant to do. Plus, when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's kind of funny. That's kind of different. Is that like Lululemon? Yes, that's where it came from. Except La La Lime was taken, and now it's guacamole. Guacamole recipe number 11, which is EUTWM PPM. Engineer up a tidal wave of momentum, perpetual promotion machine. Oh, hey, is this just like your landing page concept? Yes. You take somebody's already snowball rolling down the hill for some viral post that's going viral, which really isn't until you tell 3 of your friends via text message. The additional component to that virality or that shareability is for you to share it onto a static landing page using email publish post. Who's going to code this up for you? You will. Or you can use WordPress, and because we're friends here, I'll just publish your first landing page. Now you'll have gone from 0 web pages made in 2025 and 2024 into making your first landing page based on somebody else's already popular concept inside their social media post. You can see examples of this at Duck9, where I'll take a Chris Sacca piece and then add comment to it. Sometimes it can just stand alone. I can take a Tim Ferriss word YouTube, podcast is the word I'm looking for, landing page, and then share it with, hey, this is what to pay attention to. This is what to learn on. By doing that, what you're doing is you're getting off of 0 pages created. You're getting off of 0 pages read. You're getting off of 0. Pat yourselves on the back. That was page number 3. We're just rolling right along. Oh, perfectly scripted. The 3 institutions of Silicon Valley. Y Combinator, which is a business incubator. Stanford University, which has its best classes online. And Larry Chang, reaching out to you, begging you to get off of 0. Those are the 3 institutions that do an effort in triumvirate where some of the institutions get intimidated by the other ones, and then they have small penis syndrome. Whereas, thankfully, for the other 2 institutions, I have big dick energy. And that energy is not to populate the world, it's to populate your brain to get off of 0 and to go 0 to 2. 0 to 2 videos, 0 to 2 landing pages, 0 to 2 videos that you remix, 0 to 2 shorts, just getting off of 0. 0 to 2 playlists. Good point, internet. Good point. Leveraging yourself. Okay. The concept of leverage does not apply when you're at 0. The concept of leverage only applies if you've gotten off of 0. And so if you're stuck at 0, it turns out all the advice for how to get from 1,000,004 to 4,000 or 2,000 1 millions, which is 2 billion, which is all the advice is from 2 billion down to 4 million, where there's a gap, there's a chasm, there's an unaddressed market, which is, what about people who are at $0? What about people who are at negative $500? And this is the hole in the algorithm, in which is why this concept is called life tips, which is where we change how leverage works by realizing, hey, leverage only works if we're doing a faux franchise above the $6 level. Literally $6. Literally a single digit number of dollars changes our leverage, because now there is something to lever. Because when the fulcrum is at 0, the board is flat. Therefore, no leverage. And every other time that you hear the word leverage, you're going to think of financial leverage. But nobody boils it down to the simplest thing, which is, in order for us to have personal leverage, our fulcrum needs to not be sitting on the ground. The fulcrum is the lever point. And leverage is where some people seem to be doing more than 1 day's worth of work. Some people seem to be getting paid more than the wage that seems possible. It's because leverage has now taken root and everything they touch turns to gold. How? Is they're using leverage of, they can show up at a party and then seemingly make deals. We can get to that stage, but we need to initially do the impossible and painful to talk about work, which is distribution work and selling our first thing. And I'll be with you because it's Psycho Saturday, and this was page 4. Pat yourselves on the back, because the last point on page 4 is, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? Just twice this month. Here you go. Roman numerals. The Super Bowl's coming up. Guess what Super Bowl number this is? About 63. Tell me what it is in Roman numerals. LXVI. How do I know this? Because I realized that in Rome, you wanted the citizens to not understand how to add, because they can't add 63 plus 10. because now it's LXVI plus X, 10, plus 10. Or worse, what if it's plus 9, which is IX? You're trying to make the citizens dumb in Rome, which is why the algorithm is trying to make you dumb, which is why this video is starting to take off. Why? Because this solves so many components of people's life. Why is my channel recently exploding? Why are you getting recommended this video? It's because I think about the Roman Empire once a month. But the benefit to you is the fact that in Rome, the genders were also swapped. In Rome, the money was hidden. In Rome, the fact that Jesus was like, hey, why are all these money traders at temple? Because there's a problem with sound money. Do you have a problem with hyperinflation? If you do, you're going to realize that the money traders are everywhere right now, which is why artificial intelligence seemingly is going to solve this, but it's going to get more volatile, which is why a lot of people have a beleaguered look on their face. But good news, kids, this Roman Empire has Wi-Fi and my YouTube channel associated to it, so that way we understand when shit gets chaotic, we see that chaos is a ladder. Did I just quote Game of Thrones? No. Tom Brady quoted Game of Thrones in How Often Do You Think About the Roman Empire? Chaos is a ladder. What's step one? Hey, that was genius stuff, Larry. What's step one? The first step is to get off of zero and sell one thing. Congratulations. I'm going to give you one thing to sell before you buy, which is Braun Power Cord 703-0458. You want to sell stuff to rich people. You don't want to sell stuff to poor people almost ever. Because rich people, they're happy kind of getting ripped off for shit that they really, 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 really like. And guess what? I found something that they really, really, really liked. They already own it. They just can't get parts for it. What are you going to do? You're going to take advantage of rich people, and they're going to say thank you for it. It's kind of like where the hot girl blows you, wipes her mouth, and is like, can I do that again tomorrow? Maybe. Will you read 10 pages with me? Which is this. 703. What stage of the Roman Empire is this? This stage is me just giving you money. Oh, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable just getting gifts from a Chinese cowboy. Buck up, buddy. Cowboy up, and let's pick up this $40, maybe $50, maybe $100 if you don't fuck this up. Here we go. 703-0458. 703-0458. Is that some half-uttered phone number? No. It's a Braun part number to rich people's favorite item in their life. Their Braun power shaver. They lost their power cord or their power cord broke. You're going to sell it first and then buy one. The biggest life hack that we know is you never buy things to then later sell. In fact, at the 38-second mark, that truth is so true, which is we want to sell things first and then buy them. How are we going to get pictures to put on eBay that are associated with our real name? I'll text them to you, 703-0458. And what you're doing is you're first putting up 5 pictures of a Braun power cord. And you're going to help people who don't do search engine very well. They're not even needing to do search engine optimization. They just can't find crap all. And so what you're going to do is you're going to be their search engine, which is a joke franchise called Let Me Google That For You. Because people used to not know where to Google things. So this is a variation of that joke enterprise, that joke business, that joke proprietorship, which is let me eBay search that for you, your Braun shaver, because currently they can't find the part anywhere because they barely know their own shaver number. In fact, ask rich females, hey, your husband bought you an expensive car. What model is it? They have no idea. They're like, is it a Mercedes? What model number is it? How many cylinders does it have? How many wheels do you have? I don't know. And that's okay because ditto rich dudes who have a shaver, they barely know their own, they just know that they love it. And so you can help them literally locate their ass crack by saying, can you touch your shaver and tell me the numbers? Because 7030458, that's nowhere. That's only between us. That's the secret that gets you 30, 40, or 50 bucks. So you sell the Braun power cord for 90 bucks, and then you go buy the thing for less than 30 bucks. And I'll give you the pictures so that way you have real pictures to show people. And then when you have real pictures to show people, that's sell it first and then buy it. Are you going to sell 50 of these? No, don't be a dick, okay? But this is a skill where once you sell one, you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe I actually sold one. I feel amazing. We're going to meditate because when my phone's out of juice, your brain is out of juice. So let us meditate on the genius shiitake I dropped into your lap. And we're going to be thankful, not of Larry Chang, because this is not hero worship. This is also not a cult. It's going to feel like a cult because it's come, grow, go. It's not a cult because, number one, I definitely don't want to have sex with you, and I can have sex with a ton of other people. Okay, so number one thing of a cult is the cult leader wants to bang everybody, the dudes too. Me, I don't want to do any of that. My deal flow is plenty. So we're going to be thankful not to Larry Chang. We're going to be thankful to Mark McCormack, who has now passed away. And that's why our meditation is going to be combined with the fact that my phone's charging and my audio quality may not be the best because my phone's charging. Udishanana breathing. We're meditating and doing Udishanana breathing. In through the nose. These are the two fingers. This finger and this finger. Do it. Don't just watch me do it. Do it. I'm hosting a ladies yoga class on Sunday night, 10 p.m. Notice how your nose feels. Notice how you, on your 15th attempt to blow your nose, that boogers exit. Let's go. Let's win. So, sell me one ticket to your comedy show, because when we are the ones who are doing our own distribution, we win how? By realizing that getting off of zero is one of the hardest things to do. I'll be the first person to buy one of your tickets to your comedy show. Load it up on Eventbrite and try to sell a single digit number of tickets. What is your current approach right now? Delegating distribution to somebody where you show up hoping to get discovered. How's that working out? How's that working out? Is it working out super well? Or are you spending money in the hopes of getting discovered? How talented are you right now in your content medium, right? And so the way to level up is you want to sell and distribute somebody who's more talented than you, setting aside our own ego, having humility, and almost borderline humiliating ourselves by promoting somebody who's better than we are in the hopes of getting us from spending money to try to be funny and spending money to try to get discovered into making a little bit of money and at least breaking even. Because at the point of making money inside of comedy, inside of art, you're going to feel absolutely different. Why? Because you'll no longer be spending money trying to make money. Pat yourselves on the back because we just finished page 5. To summarize page 5, since you might just be jumping on, being able to take something that used to cost us money in order to try to get better versus making money, which is HTMMWYMM. How to make money while you're making money. Pro comedians getting to 100K total. Don't be intimidated by 100K per year. Just try to get to 1K inbound revenue. Whereas currently, if you're a startup comedian, you're at dollar negative, where there is no leverage at zero, where I'm even willing to be your first paying customer to watch your comedy show, because this stand-up routine for life hacks isn't just, oh, let's try to sell comedy classes to the masses. This is us life hacking our way inside of our side hustle, so that way our prime hustle ends up being, oh my God, slightly better. Pat yourselves on the back. We just did page 5. We just executed page 5. To wrap page 5, which is critical also for Hawk Girl Entrepreneurship Club, which is this. We don't ever want to page 136 or page 124 somebody else. That's by being snide and like a girl and ripping a person behind their back, because that's very beta behavior right out of page 136 and page 124. Moving on to this page. It's going to be amazing. Let's go. See video, do video, make video. See video, do the video, and then make a video of what you did based on the video that you saw. That is in and of itself baby steps to getting leverage. It seems like it's so small, it seems like it's inconsequential, but that concept of see a video, do a video, do what was inside the video, now make the video, groundbreaking. And think of it as the Larry Chang experiment, where we're just experimenting on jokingly progressing forward. Bitcoin for corporations. Realizing that we're being forced to live in a Web 1 or Web 3 fraudulent world, but it turns out the future's already here, it's just not very well distributed. In fact, we want to take advantage of that chaos by realizing eventually it's going to be Web 5, which is Bitcoin for corporations. We can benefit from that by realizing there's a conference called Bitcoin for Corporations. Are we front running it? Yeah. Is this going to be May 4 to May 8 in Orlando at the Hilton? Yes, yes, yes. Can you benefit from wherever you are? Definitely. Why? Because now we are front running what's going to happen later on down the road, with today being January 29th and that event taking place May 4 to May 8. Oh, well, if you can tell the future, how do we benefit? Think about what that question is. I'm telling you the future and you don't know how to benefit from that? Because if you're thinking that this is your first front run, know that this is not my first rodeo, which is front running Omaha, which is where we met because I was preparing to do some basic things in Omaha. And then they said, hey, you seem like you're really good at networking. You might work in finance, or else who has $60,000 to like pay for this shit, right? Are you going to come for the Warren Buffett Berkshire Hathaway event? Are you coming for that? What's the Berkshire Hathaway event that you're inviting me to? Oh, you don't know about that? It's the annual shareholder event. Oh my God, you guys host that? Yes, I've heard about it. I've never really participated. Well, step one would be get to know some of the genius shit that Warren Buffett wrote via his ghostwriter, Alice. Maybe I should read that. Oh, I did read it, and now I'm front running chapter 65, Columbia University, where Warren Buffett went to school. The entire book is chapters 1 through 64. This is 65. Columbia University. Chapter 66, which is Bitcoin for Corporations, which is the last 4 minutes of this component, which is Bitcoin for Corporations, which is EUTWM PPMM. Treasury operations. This is also front running June 24 to June 26 of Stanford Board of Directors Governance, a $9,000 class on winning. We won a lot. We won a lot. So, really good job on winning. Do you like how we're combining the front run with the Bitcoin for corporations with the Web 5? To back up a little bit, Web 2 is when I found out that the social web is somehow different from Web 1. What's Web 1? It's just static web pages. What's Web 2? The social web, which is basically still Web 1, but Mark Pincus and Tim O'Reilly wanted to make money, and so they called something old something slightly new, and would you like to pay $5,000 to learn about that something new, which is Web 2 Summit. And so when I heard about Web 2 Summit, I promptly paid a lot of money for me and 16 of my friends to go, while thinking to myself, Web 2 is such a scam, I bet there's going to be problems. That's where I thought Web 3, Web 4, Web 5. And so together with this also being stand-up comedy is Web 4 is Fiat Strikes Back. Web 5 is the final web, which is why was there never money inside of Web 1? And that's because the money printers at the privately owned corporation known as the Federal Reserve, they thought that money should only get printed by banks that they controlled, because that's what Web 4, that's what Web 5 is. That's what Web 3 tried to do, is be decentralized money that was centralized. And so do you see how this solves Web 5, this solves Web 4, this solves Web 3, and this definitely solves Web 2. Because the solution for Web 2 is don't touch the money, just do social programming via peer-to-peer content, where it's the social web, and how social media kind of ruined media, but also decentralized it. And then the money swaps occur still on the fiat rail system, and Web 5 is completely exiting the not gold, just government money in a CBDC from what happened in 1971, which is the United States went off the gold standard, which means taking all the hostages that Nixon took for money and then shooting all the hostages. That's supposed to be funny because that happened. And now you can leave the system, but not until fiat strikes back. Hey, good job. Good job staying for 6 pages, day 51 of the 99 Days of Christmas. Good job.